Let's head into the backwoods of West Virginia for some mayhem. Let's get into it. Hey, welcome back to my channel. Hope everyone is doing well out there. And today we're going to head into the wild woods of West Virginia for some inbred mountain horror fun. That's right, we're going to talk about the original Wrong Turn. I'm reviewing this now because I'm getting ready for the new Wrong Turn, the reboot that drops in 2 weeks on VOD. It did get a one-night theatrical release back in January. I have seen some reviews pop up for it on YouTube. I've watched some, but I've been trying to stay away from spoilers. And we'll see. I want to see it for myself and decide if I'm going to dig this film or not. And the reason why I am interested in this film is because the writer of the original Wrong Turn came back to write the reboot. So we'll see how that goes. And he has a little bit of horror history because Alan B. McElroy wrote the original Wrong Turn. He also wrote Halloween 4, The Return of Michael Myers. And then he also went on to write Rapid Fire, a Brandon Lee action vehicle directed by his Halloween 4 collaborator, Dwight Little. And he's written other things over the years, but it's interesting that he's coming back to the Wrong Turn franchise. And this movie was released May 30th of 2003. I saw this opening weekend with a bunch of friends of mine. It's rated R. It's an hour and 24 minutes long. Had a budget of $12.6 million, and upon release, it made $28.6 worldwide. Now, Rob Schmidt directed this film, written by Alan P. McElroy, but the other horror titan that helped shepherd this film was Stan Winston. He produced this film and helped develop or create the Mountain Men themselves. So he was involved with this film as well. And I remember he did press for this film when it was released. And in this film, we got Elijah Dushku as Jesse. She was just coming off of Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Desmond Harrington plays Chris. He had done a couple other horror films. He was in Ghost Ship as the ferryman. He was in a little movie called Love Object, which is pretty messed up. If you've ever seen, check that out. And he was in The Dark Knight Rises as well. He's in a lot of other things as well, but those are the three things I've seen him in, and I've always liked him as an actor. Jeremy Sisto, who I've always enjoyed whenever he pops up on screen, plays Scott. And him and his fiance are on, well, we'll talk about that. And Chris is on his way to Raleigh, North Carolina for an interview, and he's heading through West Virginia. And there's a traffic backup on the interstate, and he decides to take a back road to get around because he's a time crunch to get to Raleigh. Now, he's on this dirt road, doesn't really know where he's going. He just hopes that it meets back up at the interstate. He takes his eyes off the road for a second, and when he looks back at the road, there's an SUV in the middle of this dirt road, and he nails it and gets in a car accident. Well, here we come to find out that 5 friends were in this SUV. Well, they weren't in it when he hit it, but they're on their way to go hiking for the weekend. But they got a tire blowout from some barbed wire that was in the middle of the road. And it comes soon to find out that somebody placed it there on purpose. And before this happens, we see this intro to the movie with this couple that are rock climbing. It doesn't end well for them. Well, that's why these movies go the way they go. And pretty much what happens is Chris, Jesse, Scott, his fiance, decide to walk off to see if they can find help. The other couple stay behind. Not too long after they leave, that couple gets killed by the Mountain Men. And basically, as the movie goes, it's a very simple story about they have to survive in the woods and try to find their way back to civilization or get help while they're being hunted down by these inbred, grotesque-looking mountain men who want to kill them and then use their meat for sustenance. And that is pretty much Wrong Turn. There are some cool scenes in this film. I mean, it is gory. It's nowhere near as gory as the 2006 The Hills Have Eyes remake, which is very similar to this film, obviously. The Hills Have Eyes, the original, is basically inbred mountain men or grotesque mountain men in the Southwest. This just happens to take place in West Virginia. There's some cool kills in the scene. The bow and arrow through the eye on the park ranger. Jeremy Sisto's death scene when he gets, hit by like 3 different bow and arrows that go through his chest. His fiance's death scene up in the trees when she gets an axe through her head and her body falls out of the trees. Pretty cool. There's some great, pretty bloody kills in this film, and they keep the pace moving. It's only an hour and 24 minutes long. It's short and sweet. It knows what it is, and it just goes for it. I mean, the script by Alan P. McElroy is simple. I mean, there's nothing groundbreaking here. We don't get to learn too much about the Mountain Men. They kind of set them up in the beginning during the credit sequence with, like, articles or textbooks about inbreds. They're stronger than normal human beings and this other stuff. So you get a little sense of the family, these 3 mountain men. But that's about all we learn about them, other than they live out in the middle of nowhere. They catch people that are coming in their territory. They keep their stuff and they kill them and use their bodies for food. That's pretty much just the Wrong Turn. It's a very simple exploitation film, and it's a fun movie. The actors are doing good here. They're believable in their roles. The Mountain Men design are really well done. What would you expect from Stan Winston and his crew? The effects come off really well. The only effects that don't come off so great are there's some CGI during the film that doesn't look convincing. This wasn't a huge budgeted film at $12.6 million. But I've always enjoyed this film. I enjoyed it when I saw it in the theaters. I don't think it's the greatest horror film ever. I just think it's a good, solid piece of exploitation. I would give Wrong Turn a 7.5 out of 10. I've always enjoyed it. I enjoy this. This is my favorite one. The sequels I do not really care for. Even the second one, which I know a lot of people like. It's okay. But after that, it goes downhill really fast with these films, which I don't know how they messed them up because it's a simple thing. All we want to see is people running in the woods like they, away from these mountain men. It's not that hard to make a decent little flick from that. But they've shown that it must be harder than I think. But yeah, 7.5 out of 10 for Wrong Turn. Have you ever seen this film? Leave a comment down below. Let me know. Hit the thumbs up. Hit the subscribe button. Share this video. I greatly would appreciate that. I hope everyone has a great weekend. I will be back next week with some more reviews. Until then, take care of yourselves. And I'm just going to leave you with bye.